Hey everyone, I'm Jenna,
I'm Clint, and welcome to the Enchanted Parks and Ports podcast,
where we chat Disney, Universal Cruise Lines, and beyond. Hello, Enchanted Parks and Ports. Hello, Clint. Welcome back. We are excited to do one of my favorite kind of episode types that we do, which is a best day or perfect day episode. We are going to do Clint's perfect. Now, I've been saying rest day, and you keep correcting me by saying resort day. So I think
Yeah,
that's telling of where this is
I don't
going.
know that resort days or rest days have to be restful, right?
Right.
I think that would be on brand for
Mm-hmm.
me as a Disney goer for my day off to not be a day off. It's just
Right.
focused on something other than parks.
Yeah. So we'll say rest, quote unquote, slash resort day. And we're going to hear a little bit about this, which I'm really excited to talk about because oftentimes when I'm chatting with people about planning their Disney vacations, the parks, it's more clear to them what I'm doing, right? And then the rest day is almost like oh, but what would we do? What are our choices? It's a little less, I can just type in attractions available and figure it out, right? And there's a million and one ways to do it. So I'm curious what you have on your list. So we're going to get into that. Yeah.
And I think these, sometimes when you think about this typical kind of, day not in the parks,
Yeah.
it's one that you're still using time in Disney. And it's like, how do you spend that time a little bit other than resting your feet, resting your back, not standing in lines, not standing in the heat, doing those kinds of things. But it is still part of your Disney currency. And how do you make it meaningful, to me, still matters.
Oh, totally. Like sometimes these can be my favorite days of a trip, which is not to say that the other days aren't magical, but sometimes there's something about the other opportunities that you can add in on this day that just don't fit very well on a park day that can be really special too, right? So I have no clue what direction you're going to take us, which is kind of fun. Like I can kind of guess some things that would be on your menu for like a perfect park day at any park, but I have no
Yeah.
idea what we're doing. So
But
I'm
I think once I start disclosing some things, you'll probably get some follow-on hints. Like
okay.
you'll start to put a puzzle
Mhm.
together, I guarantee it, just because I can't not be me.
Right. Okay. Well, look, I've already clocked the resort not rest day, so I'm onto a good start here. All right. So we are gonna chat more about that, but first, a couple news highlights. Attraction kind of at both ends of the spectrums. One getting refurbished, one getting created. So where do we want to start?
Yeah, so Carousel of Progress over in Magic Kingdom. We talked about this a couple of episodes ago that she's going to get a major refurb top to bottom, all new scenes. Walt's going to get a presence in the ride. And so the thing that we didn't know is when is this going to happen? Like, is this 6 months from now? Is this imminent? Well, we're finding out that it's imminent. So it's
Mm-hmm.
going to basically make it past the 4th of July holiday, and she's going down for refurb as of July 6th.
Yeah. Which was a bit of, we were just talking about this before we came on. I was like, I wish I had made time for this last trip. But it's one of those you don't know till you don't know, right? And I don't live close enough to the parks to just spontaneously plan a Disney trip around Carousel of Progress. I feel like some fans would, but I'm not that fan of this attraction. So you'll have to, report back on both of us for both of us on this kind of last round of Carousel of Progress for now.
Yeah, because I got trips in both June and July coming up, so from that standpoint, I can definitely catch a last ride. I think the one thing that's going to be tough about this going down in July is one of your best air conditioning spaces for the summer is gone,
I
right? 25
know.
minutes of uninterrupted air conditioning, history.
And seats. We know I love like a good seat at Disney. and air conditioned seats are disappearing. Now, like I have been impressed with the air conditioned spaces they've been adding with Cool Kids Summer and kind of trying to help people plan for that. But yeah, that'll be a hit for some people, or like that's a popular nap spot for littles too. So we're losing some of that for now until something new comes. But speaking of new, we know that Monstropolis has been in the works, right? At Disney's Hollywood Studios. We said RIP Muppet Courtyard in order to make space for this. Lots of excitement around this, lots of excitement around Suspended Coaster, the Door Coaster. That attraction was just like begging to be created from that movie, and it's finally happening. We didn't really know the concept of the land besides Monstropolis. Like, would there be a story, etc.? And then randomly, we get this news article. And when I say that, I don't mean like in a news article we read, it was a picture of a newspaper from
From
Monstropolis,
Monstropolis. Yes.
which was a bit perhaps surprising to some of us because it gave the report that Monstropolis would be celebrating Human Day.
And that is an acronym.
Yeah. Oh, do you know the
Human
acronym?
Day is an acronym.
I did read the thing, but I forget the thing. Do you
So
know the
it's
thing?
humans understanding monsters are nice day.
Yes. Because now we're not scarers. We're laughers. Is that the correct term? Comedian.
Yeah, we've changed our fuel, right?
Yeah.
And we're getting rid of this I guess kind of division between the two worlds in that there can be some kind of cohabitation interaction things. And so as with any great Disney ride, you think about Big Thunder, you think about any of these that are have a little bit of a funny backstory, Haunted Mansion, some different things, right? There has to be something that tells the lead up.
Yeah.
And so I love that they're bringing this in. No, similar to the way I love the way they've worked in Zootopia to the Tree of Life, right? With
Right.
Better Together,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
Some of that kind of stuff just works,
Yeah.
and brings a level for those of us who are just diehard Disney fans that can get a connection that isn't just, hey, we're in the movie.
Yes. Which I like. I like that we're extending a concept, right? I like this about Toy Story Land. It's not just at Toy Story themed attractions. It's I'm in Andy's backyard. I'm a toy now. That's amazing. This I think even is better in terms of concept of it makes sense that me as Jenna, a human, would be in this land in this concept. Right? I like that. There's also like so much potential for like entertainment and interaction in how they design this. I really am hoping kind of Sunset Boulevard, like help me with what I'm trying to say. The street performers that used to like hang out on Sunset Boulevard. Citizens
Yeah,
of
you get
Hollywood.
yep,
I'm hoping
you
for
get
that.
the
but
street atmosphere kind of going on.
yeah. Like imagine like monsters trying to engage you. That sounds amazing. Or like even like yellow hazmat dudes chatting you up. Like that would be amazing. So I'm really thinking there's a lot of potential for this land. And frankly, I think you kind of have to lean on a little bit of that because there's one attraction.
Yeah, one attraction, one show. You're definitely going to have to lean into the dining. You're going to have to lean into the merchandise. Again, to your point, hopefully we got roaming characters that are kind of sucking you in. I'll be interested to see what they do from a theming's detail standpoint to bring this Human Day concept into the land itself. So, yeah, just, again, can't wait. And they need to build this thing faster because we need it yesterday.
I am so excited for this one. So that'll be super fun. We still don't have an opening date. One other thing that some people have been kind of clocking in that news report is the 8:15. Did you see this?
Oh no, what did you catch that I didn't?
So at the top, they say something like, dining, something, something, I'm forgetting, but it was some kind of like to read this segment on dining in the newspaper, turn to page 8, column 15. And similarly on the other side, it said rehearsals have started for blah, blah, blah. page 8, column 15, which 8:15, that's not a random date. That's D23.
Yeah, it definitely is D23, and I think they're maybe giving hints that you're going to get some more announcement. Maybe they're going to confirm Harryhausen's. Maybe they're
Yeah,
going to give you an
that's what
idea of
I'm
what the
thinking.
show's going to be.
Yeah.
Some of that where they're just going to continue to pile on the information.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking tune into D23 if you're invested in this year and see if we spotted that correctly. Because these things are not random. If you ever see numbers at Disney, there's something.
Although I'm going to say on Tiana's Bayou Adventure, we were chasing license plates for months
And
and
they
the
were just
license
like,
plate meant nothing. I mean, it was one of those that like the internet was going crazy.
yeah, trying to
And
figure.
it was like, wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
It's just a license plate.
And like, I bet you though that somebody laughed making it just a license plate because they know us. So,
Yes, they do.
was it just a license plate or was it some Imagineer being like, he, good luck, internet?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, let's hop into Resort Day with kind of starting the way that we start these episodes because your perfect day has to start with some backup here. Where are you staying?
Well, that's primary, right?
Yeah.
And what's interesting about this is from a resort standpoint, I'm picking one that I don't know that I've talked a lot about for me personally on the podcast prior.
Okay.
And the reason is, like, I might bend the rest of a trip a little bit around this rest day, right? I mean, if I'm working this into like a standard trip, you got 4 park days, you got a rest day, first day, last day. I am also going to preface that I am doing this trip as an annual pass holder.
Right. So that
Which I
changes
am.
things now in terms of like our dollar value for you of being in the parks.
So, my mind is, okay, if I were doing this, then yeah, I would make some of these choices based on maybe what I want to get out of my resort day.
Sure.
Because I'm automatically, I know what I'm getting from my park days.
Yes. Yeah. That makes sense to me.
And so from that standpoint, yes, where you home base is going to matter. And in this particular case for me, I am home basing at the Polynesian.
Whoa, I was absolutely not expecting that. I had like 7 guesses going on, and none of them were the Poly because I've never heard you really talk about the Poly. So when you say the Polynesian, we now kind of have 2 very different vibes at that same resort. So which side are we on? Are we in the Island Tower or are we in Polynesian proper, as I like to call it?
No, I've got to go Poly proper. I mean,
Yeah.
there's just a history, nostalgia, those kinds. Like if I'm doing that,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna spend the coin to do that, man, somebody else can have the tower. I know it's a beautiful space. It's got a great restaurant, all those kinds of things. I can go over there on my own, but I want to walk through those hallways that have been there for so long and just are such a keen part of Disney history that, yeah, Polly's definitely it. And, how this kind of unfolds, there's a couple of key things that caused me to choose the Polynesian.
Okay.
One is this place has an epically good pool game, right? It's not quite Stormalong Bay, but it's well above average.
Well, I also you don't get castle views from Stormalong Bay. I'm just gonna say, I can see Cinderella Castle from the lava pool. Like, I don't know. I understand. The slide is cool, it's tall, etc. But again, I can see the castle. So I would even argue that this pool doesn't get enough credit for how amazing that experience is. So you're going to be hanging out by the lava pool. You're going to be soaking in kind of all that it has to offer. What time of year are you going if this is a perfect resort day?
I'm still looking. I want probably early June.
Yep.
Again, I don't want full on Florida heat. I don't want humidity, but I do want it to be stable enough that I can enjoy a pool day, that
Yeah.
I can actually get when we talk resort day, that something's not potentially taking away from that from a weather standpoint, right? I'm
Yes.
sure
Yeah.
May, whatever, but I'm kind of, as I thought about this, picturing an early June kind of trip,
Yeah.
kind of as we're sitting right here, and being able to enjoy that. But every resort day, we're going to give ourselves a little bit with being able to not jump straight into this, right?
Sure.
This is one of those days where, man, you've been doing late nights, you've been
Yeah.
running hard, so we're really talking, probably slow start to the day.
Yeah.
But with me, slow start to the day means I'm not up at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. Slow start to
Mhm.
the day is probably I'm up like 8 a.m. And
Right.
most people are like, I'd be sleeping in till 10 or 11. That's wasting a little bit too much of my
You're
resort day.
still at Disney. You're still staying at the Polynesian. You got to get your value out of that. So you're having this slow start to the day, and what does that look like? Because, Deluxe Resort, you have a lovely little patio or balcony, depending what floor you're on, unless you're on the what floor is it at the Poly? I always have to look it up. That doesn't have a balcony. Is it the second, maybe?
No, I think the second does.
There are some
Do,
specific rooms. I
that
might
don't?
have to
I might
fact
have to
check.
investigate that.
Yeah, I'll fact
But
check
yeah,
myself. But you have
and
a patio.
again, for me, it's one of these things that as we start rolling into the day, and again, Lucas would hear this episode and be like, "Dude, really?"
Let's
And I'm
hear.
gonna go yes, because for us all, like Tonga toast at Polly could be a breakfast option.
Oh, yeah. Well,
We could go to Ohana.
yeah. You can have
Nah, I'm not
Tonga
doing either of
toast.
those.
You can have Tonga toast two ways. You could have it at Kona or at
Yeah.
Captain Cook's, but we're declining all the ways to have Tonga toast.
I'm declining all the ways to have breakfast at the Polynesian.
And there are some good options. Like Kona is known for its breakfast.
Yeah, because close by is a space I've never been to. And one of the things I think with a perfect resort day is it has to
Novelty.
involve new and novelty and
Mm,
something I haven't done. Right? I've had
yeah.
Tonga toast. I've gone to
Yeah.
Ohana. Man, I thought about jumping over to the Contemporary and going to
Yeah.
Chef Mickey's. I've done that, right?
Yeah.
I thought about, I don't, I was thinking California Grill does a brunch, but then I was like, I've eaten at California Grill kind of
Yeah.
situation. So, but where I haven't been is I have not done 1900 Park Fair
That was my guess
over
for
at
you.
Grand Flow.
Oh, it's so good. I hate buffets. I mean, like bold font, underlined. I've talked to you about this. It just does not function for my family. Would book there again in a heartbeat. Love it. So yeah, 1900 Park Fair, you're starting your day off strong.
Yeah, I think you're getting your Mickey waffles. You're
Yeah.
getting kind of there's some elevated because it is Grand Flow. So I'm expecting an elevated buffet. Like I'm
Yeah.
not thinking you're getting an average Disney buffet because the
No.
expectations got to be there. And to your point, I do think Grand Flow provides that.
Yes.
Not only that, but you're getting Tiana, you're getting kind of that
Mm.
southern vibe, which would be super fun, great way to start your day, and it's walking distance from the Poly, so I
Yeah.
don't have to worry about a whole lot. I can cruise over there, hit my reservation, hang out, because after breakfast, there is something I'm trying to line up again with the with Polynesian. Like there's
Okay.
something
Yeah.
else besides the pool. So, we're going to spend some time over at Grand Flow. We're going to
Yeah.
ease into our day. We're going to enjoy a character meal and take our time, right?
That's
Which is something I
awesome.
regularly don't do.
And this is a good one to do that in some ways because like it is a buffet. You can go back a couple times. You can enjoy the pog juice refill, right? The strawberry soup. this is something you've not experienced if you haven't been to 1900 Park Fair and needs to go on the list, right?
It's not, and I know of said
Yeah.
strawberry soup, and I've heard it's amazing, and it's gonna have to be some of those things that, again, you look and you go, yep, now I've done that. That is
That,
part
yeah.
of a perfect day for me.
I love that. That's amazing. I will always have this memory of 1900 Park Fair that I need to share with this podcast of Abby realizing Cinderella was coming, but she was wearing a Snow White dress. And she was like, what do I do? Because I know mom has a Cinderella dress in the bag. So, girlfriend hopped under that table and did a quick costume change before Cinderella showed up. And I was like, what just happened? And she's like, listen, I'm ready. Here we are. So, come prepared with your Cinderella dress on, Clint, instead of having
Wow.
to quick change under the table.
That is unbelievable. Like that's stuff of superheroes.
The commitment was strong. This is one of my dad's favorite stories. He always tells this about Abby at 1900 Park Fair. But yeah, so you're gonna enjoy your breakfast, and then you said you have something lined up at the Poly.
Yeah, so we're headed back to Poly,
Yeah,
right? We just wanted to do 1900. It's there. Kind of enjoy it.
sure.
Roll back to the Poly. We are going to go hit up the pool,
Yes.
kind of spend some time. Because again, Poly has to your point, you've got Kona, you've got a few of these places, you've got the pool bar, some of those kinds of
Yeah.
things where you can enjoy some things that typically people believe you can only get in the park.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of a unique thing about this resort in a couple different respects. But the Dole Whip are we getting Dole Whip?
You got to have some Dole Whip at some point when you're
Yeah.
by the pool, right? I mean,
Like,
pina coladas, Dole Whip, like, fun in the sun kind of situation. And so we're gonna spend some time doing that. But we are trending towards we got to rope drop something, right? Like
okay.
even on a resort day, we got to we got to
Of
rope drop
course we
something.
do. Of
And I'm
course
sure
we
you
do.
can share with listeners based on me sharing that what we're rope dropping and what has to be on the list later in the afternoon because this
Yeah.
is one of those reasons we chose Polly.
Do we got to go see a certain trader by chance?
Absolutely.
So we're headed to Trader Sam's.
We got to go to Trader Sam's Grotto, right?
Yes.
Which means about, I don't know, 11:30,
Yeah.
12 o'clock. You got to be downstairs in line waiting outside because you can only get up on the walk-up list that way.
Yeah.
And so, we're going to spend a little time, probably a few of our 30 other friends hanging out in a line waiting to get into Trader Sam's so that we can have a mid-afternoon opportunity to hang out and enjoy some adult beverage in a space that is just, I don't know, I don't think this place gets quite as much love as it used to because Disney has continued to up their lounge game.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's an interactive lounge anywhere else on property that just brings this much fun.
Like it's fun, right? It's tomfoolery. It's shenanigans. It's play, which is what like Disney adults are after.
And it's great food. Like if you just want,
Yeah.
you've been at the pool for part of a time, yeah, maybe you
Right.
indulged in a Dole Whip. But the food at Poly is one that to some degree rivals a little bit some of its resorts like an Animal Kingdom, those kinds of things. And the small bites at Trader Sam's are legit.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
flavor forward options. You've got a brilliant drink menu.
Nice.
And so, we're gonna spend some time that afternoon hanging out at the Polynesian in Trader Sam's, really just kind of taken in. And this is one of the reasons that yes, you choose Poly on a resort day, because if you're trying to do this from some other location, and I
Yeah.
have, it takes the ultimate commitment to do Trader Sam's from another place on property.
Right. Because you're already there. You're just popping over after being at the pool, right? It's not I need to line up my whole day to get there. And then when I leave, have the travel time to get wherever I'm going instead of just, yeah, already being at my home base.
Well, and one of the things I really appreciate about Trader Sam's versus, something like a Beacon Barrel or maybe some of these premier spots on property as far as lounges go is they're not trying to kick you out. Like if you want to sit there for
Mm,
an hour and a half, they're going to let you sit there for an hour and a half. As long as you're
yeah.
actively engaged in being in the space. You
Yes.
can't just, pull up your phone and like sit in Trader Sam's and hang out. They're going to want you enjoying a drink,
Yeah.
enjoying some food, some of that kind of stuff. But if you want to take it slow, it's a great place to take it slow.
Nice.
It's
Yeah.
always super fun. I love sitting in Trader Sam's and watching people who have been there never before.
I know. Yeah. And I haven't been there. So I'm very intrigued to try it because that is one of my favorite Disney experiences too, is just watching people like experience Disney things I've done before. So even being in that novelty with other people, I think would be fun to witness, right?
Because the cast members in this space, they just bring it to a whole new level, right? I
Yeah.
mean, they are the reason that the space is as good as it is. The theming is amazing. The tricks and some of the things that happen, when you order certain drinks is amazing. But it is the bartenders and the service staff who just bring such an energy, such a vibe
Yeah.
that they just kind of suck you into this idea that you're transported to someplace completely different.
And I'm curious, as someone who's been there before and a Disney nerd per se, would you order a specific drink just to have a specific thing happen, as opposed to that being the drink that you would want out of a list of drinks?
Yeah, I would probably do that just because
That's
sometimes the
fun.
effects are cool, right?
Yeah.
Like you get the shipwreck when you order the shipwreck and all
Right.
kinds of things happen.
Yeah.
I'm also relying on all my other guests and
To
brethren who are in the
partake.
space to
Yeah.
be kind of keeping the energy up by what they're ordering.
Right.
Um,
That's
and
funny.
it's not about necessarily souvenir mugs and all that. Although we've talked in the past that those things are available.
Hmm.
This is just about taking in a space that is incredibly unique and you can only get in two locations, one of them East Coast, one of them West Coast. And
Yeah.
when you've been to kind of both, it's super fun. So, the reason for the poly, yes, is a big part of this. There's something else coming, but it's a
Mm.
big part of this one. And so, this just kind of spends our day. Again, we're trying to stay off our feet. We're trying to catch up
Yeah.
from rest because in this trip we've already done 2 park days, and
Right.
with me we've done 2 big park days.
Hmm. Yeah.
And so, I would hope, honestly, if I were taking this trip, I'd hope my kids were with me. Because
Nice.
again, this time frame with them just recently, turning 21, which they're going to do here in about a month, it would be fun to get to have them
Yeah.
experience this space as full-fledged adults. They've been
Right.
to both of them and kind of done the mocktail thing and
Yeah.
some of
Yeah.
those kinds of things, but it would be super fun to be able to kind of christen it again
Right.
new with my kids.
Oh, for sure that would be fun. And even just like it's again a different kind of experience for you and for them, right? And I can appreciate like whenever I'm thinking of experiencing things at Disney, I'm thinking of how I experience it and then how my kid will experience it, right? And so that doesn't end into adulthood. It just changes what you're thinking about. Now it's thinking more about the lounges you can go to, where I'm thinking about like, oh, I should have her sit on this side of Frozen Ever After next time I come with her because she gets closer to the characters, right? Like it's interesting how that stays with you in all the iterations and eras.
It really does because just as and one that you talked about on a episode of several podcasts back, it's like the guy on Avatar, right? He's
Right.
living his best life,
Yes.
and you vicariously kind of get some of that joy back. I
Oh,
think that
totally.
happens as your kids get these experiences themselves, right? You see
Yeah.
them in a new space with some new joy, and you go, "Man, I'm gonna suck that in a little bit."
Yes. Oh, totally. Absolutely. All right. So we've gone to Trader Sam's. We've been by the pool a little bit. We've had some Dole Whip. We visited Grand Flow. We're kind of trending what, late afternoon, early eve at this point?
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely late afternoon, early evening, and not everything on a perfect resort day does have to be new.
Okay.
And
Some can be
this is
reliable.
where there's some tried and true and just some things that you're like, if I did this on every Disney trip, it would
I'd be
make me happy. And if I don't do it on a Disney trip, did I really do Disney?
right.
And this is something that you got to go to Disney Springs,
Yeah. At some point you
right?
do,
I
and it's
mean,
hard on a park day.
it is. And, you can swing it on your arrival day, on your
Yeah.
departure day. The difficulty is, I'm an annual pass holder now. And if I am showing up in Florida, in the land of the mouse, the first thing I want to do is get to a
Go to a
park, right?
park.
So
Yeah.
I am no longer headed
Yeah.
to Disney Springs on my
Ah.
arrival day, which would have been the move before.
Yeah, your playbook has changed here.
But it's not now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, with that being said, we're gonna have to get ready. We're not doing anything too wild and crazy. We are headed to Disney Springs. We're probably gonna cruise around because again, I love that space. And if this is an absolute perfect
Yeah.
resort day,
Yeah.
this is on a weekend evening. Like a
Right.
Friday night, Saturday night kind of deal.
Mhm.
Just because Disney Springs just is so much more alive
Yeah.
on those nights of the week because you get the live music, you get some of that kind of stuff going on.
Yeah. And local energy, right? Like you do get people who are coming into this space on a Friday, Saturday night, just to enjoy the space itself, right? And to go to dining. Yeah.
You really are. And so we're gonna cruise over there after we get done at Poly. So we're probably rolling in, 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we are gonna, at this point, we did Trader Sam's. I'm gonna say at that we were really light on any of the appetizers that we
Right.
did because we do have a dining reservation at Disney Springs at a place that, again, this one is just iconic and
Okay.
so good, super predictable. But we're gonna go to Paddlefish.
Okay, nice. Yeah, because this is a perfect day. We're gonna end it on a special note here. I love
Yeah, we're
that.
gonna go. And I need some seafood. I'm in Florida. I'm a
Yeah,
Colorado guy.
right.
Like everything we get's frozen,
Yeah.
so gotta have some shrimp, some scallops, some of those kinds of things. Just at Paddlefish and enjoy. And we're gonna do this a little bit early in the evening.
Okay.
Kind of around that 5:30 time. Because I want to enjoy this meal, but I've also got something else kind of on the horizon post some shopping. So, with Disney Springs, you've just got such iconic kind of spots to go through. And
Oh, yeah.
even if you don't have any budget for it, you can window shop yourself just
Yeah.
through all the joys.
And I also like this is your perfect resort day. So maybe we have saved some budget. We are splurging a little bit on some souvenirs. We can look at the new Spirit jerseys, you know?
Yeah, I don't know about that because Abby helped me to recently spend my Roosevelt money,
Yeah.
what I probably would have purchased in the parks. So yeah, I
So
might
you're
even be
super,
wearing a Judy Hopps
yeah.
Roosevelt on this evening, just in
Oh.
honor of my friend Abby, which did show up on the mail, by the way. Apparently, they are
Oh.
waiting for me in Colorado when I get home from seeing my kids.
Oh, interesting. So you know it's there, but it's not with you.
No, it's not. So we're gonna definitely hit up Paddlefish, enjoy that, and then we're just gonna go cruise around some of the unique spots that are in Disney Springs. We're gonna watch the volcano over Rainforest Cafe do its
Yeah.
rumbles and explosions and all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Hopefully see some bands and some live music. Kind
Amazing. Yeah.
of taking it easy. Got to walk through World of Disney. I mean, you got to see all the merch that they're throwing at you, even if you can't afford it.
Yeah. You got to check pin traders for some pin that your co-host is looking for and hasn't spotted. Just wait until
Yes.
you move to Florida and all of a sudden I'm like, Clint, I
Oh,
need
yeah.
these four things.
I can see that, but it's the benefit of being there, right?
It is. It is. So you get to cruise around and you get to see if you time it, I don't know, it's June, so you might see the kind of start-ish of kind of the cooler weather, the lights coming on the trees, because that's like a moment when Disney Springs transforms in the evening too, is when you start to see those like twinkling lights that just, I don't know, add this kind of like, oh yeah, this is part of the magic.
Yeah, it definitely comes alive, and again, the stages
Yeah,
and the sounds, because again, we've talked about the smells, the sounds, all of those
everything.
things are what Disney brings, and they do it on purpose, right? They're wanting to
Mm-hmm.
build this evening energy. But I did say that we needed some time between
Yeah.
said paddlefish dinner
Mm-hmm.
and something a little later, and
Well,
you be
let me just inquire here as I start to puzzle piece. So, like we said, sunsets a bit later in June, which also means certain spectaculars are a bit later in June. So perhaps that buys you some time to get back to the resort if we're going back for the reason I'm thinking.
we're not though,
Oh, so my
because there's
puzzling was
something
wrong.
that happens at Disney Springs between the hour of 7 and 8.
Ah, something I've never partaken in, but is a highly recommended thing from Clint.
This is one of those things that if you're ever in Disney Springs and you've had dinner,
Yeah.
and again, I'm bending at a resort day a little bit around this. I could have gone to a lot of places
Yeah.
to go get food,
Oh, Lucas is
but
still mad you didn't choose Ohana for dinner.
probably. But at this point, I've got to go to Gideon's Bakehouse for hot cookie hour.
Okay, and remind me because I've never actually partaken. Is it a specific cookie that is the hot cookie? It's any
Just their
cookie.
regular chocolate chip
Oh, the
cookie.
classic.
The
Nice. Yeah.
classic.
Yeah.
Scoop of
Which,
ice cream.
oh,
You know, again, this thing's as big as your face.
yeah.
I mean, two people, one dessert, plenty. But it is so good.
Yeah.
And yes, of all the desserts on Disney property, I could be going to Cake Bake. I could be
Right.
going to all kinds of places
Yeah.
to enjoy something sweet.
This
And
is
I'm
true.
going to pick Gideon's Bake Shop for hot cookie hour. 10 on 10.
10 out of 10 times. Now
10 out of 10.
you haven't had Cake Bake's banana pudding yet.
I tried.
You did you did
They
try.
let me down.
The universe said no. But I am just saying that I'm curious. You'll have to report back because you have two more shots for banana pudding in the next couple months. And
Okay,
you'll
that's a good point. I got to start checking the Cake Bake menu to if is there any chance that I can get some banana pudding.
that
I'll take that.
it can come back because I'm curious if you would still say 10 out of 10 or if all of a sudden we're splitting our time. But my issue with Gideon's, and I think this is other people's issue, is if I'm going through the, sometimes line, hassle, whatever it is to get Gideon's, is it not a line at 7 p.m.?
Oh, it's a line.
It's a
But here's
line.
the thing. People will wait
Yeah,
15 minutes for It's a Small World.
sure.
They will wait 15 minutes for the carousel.
Yes.
And Gideon's buries all of that, and that line is about 15 minutes, typically from the back to the front.
Yes. Well, at that time. In the morning, I have stood in a line that was not 15 minutes. I will say that. More like an hour and a half, and Lucas is like, where have you brought us? But the reason being that I have trouble with this at night is I want a cold brew if I'm going to Gideon's.
Oh,
I like
okay.
that is just the best coffee I've had on maybe in on the planet, but certainly on Disney property. I do like the sparkles at Cake Bake, but the coffee itself is better at Gideon's. Um, and so anyway, I like it's hard for me to be like I'm at the best coffee place, but I'm not getting coffee because it's bedtime.
Yeah, because you're going to fear the caffeine that's going to keep you up till midnight.
So I don't, yeah. So anyway, but that's my own struggle to deal with. But for Clint, it's a very obvious choice. We're getting a hot cookie. We're getting that scoop of ice cream. We are ending this night on a beautiful, sugary, chocolatey note.
Yep, we're gonna do that. We're hopefully like the main stage. We're gonna slide over there.
Nice.
Hope somebody's performing. On an ideal resort night, I'm catching a band who's throwing down old school '80s music. Like, come on, I
Hey.
just give me some of that vibe that is my
Yep.
childhood.
Nice.
Cookie, ice cream in hand, just all of that kind of stuff.
Nice.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. That's amazing. And you're watching kind of at this point, the sun's for sure going down. You're for sure getting like, I want to keep saying Christmas lights, but you know what I mean. The
Yeah,
eternal
no,
Christmas
it is
lights.
that good. And
Yeah.
so we're going to hang out and we're going to hit at the front end of Hot Cookie Hour, try to be
Yeah.
right there about that 7 o'clock. And we're going to take a little time to enjoy the hot cookie. But then we do have to cruise back over and catch the bus back to the Poly.
Yes. Well, I was going to say this feels like a missed opportunity if we're not at some point making our way back.
Yep. So we've got to roll back over there. And again, we're talking location, location.
Yeah.
And under the context that I am an annual pass holder.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And that means if we're back to resort by say about 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Clint, you're not allowed to go to a park on your
You didn't say that! I can get on the monorail and go over to Magic Kingdom for a reverse rope drop on my resort day.
Terry Ann, I would like to formally apologize for the fact that your chance of slowing Clint down now has disappeared.
I had a slow day.
You did 17 things today.
Well, kind of, but at a very slow pace.
I guess that's true. And so Clint's going to the park. This is
I mean, okay, now wait a minute.
yeah.
You and I got to do this
Yeah, it
kind of
was-
similar thing from the Contemporary.
Yeah.
And it is an incredible way to end a day that maybe wasn't a full park day to begin with. I mean, I
It
think
honestly, it's a good point. It's converted me on the Contemporary as well in terms of just the like taste of Magic Kingdom. If you have a park hopper or in your case, an annual pass, like that taste of Magic Kingdom to end your night without, I guess, having to do all the steps and all the pressure of everything just to do that reverse rope drop that, I think that is objectively correct, but it does feel like cheating. I'll give you
it
that.
does feel like cheating a little bit, but a couple, like, again, we're not talking crazy sauce, right?
No.
We're talking probably going over trying to catch maybe a timing of the fireworks
Yeah.
with Big Thunder kind of
Oh,
situation, or maybe on
nice.
People Mover,
Yeah.
right? Maybe catching a low wait time ride just because we can,
Yeah.
and then really just. What's that one ride that you're like, I want to do it? Is it a Seven Dwarfs? Do
Yeah.
you want to get on Tron? Do you like what is that last ride of a night that would cap a resort day? Because
Yeah.
predominantly this has been a resort day.
Yeah.
But just that little, as Walt would say, right? What's the kiss goodnight? Well,
Mhm.
last couple of little bits in a park is
Yeah.
kind of that kiss goodnight. It would be amazing.
Yeah. I hear that. That is objectively a pretty good way to end the night. Because I thought you were watching the fireworks from the Poly Beach, which I think if you're not an annual pass holder is another lovely way to do it.
It's a great move.
But if you are an annual pass holder, the monorail's right there. That's true. You could even walk if you felt ambitious.
Yeah.
If you wanted to walk on the way back. That's probably not in the spirit of rest, but you could if you wanted to, right?
And I'm going to say, I do believe that I met the requirements of a resort day because I didn't take the bus from Disney Springs to Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
I did go back to the Poly before I went to Magic Kingdom.
Fair. Yes. This is true. This is true. Did you go back to the Poly to change into Magic Kingdom affiliated attire, or it was just for you to meet
No, of course I did, right? I went to Disney Springs. We had a nice meal, those
at
kinds of things. But
Paddlefish?
I gotta throw down with a little bit of park gear again,
Nice.
and roll over there and just again enjoy a little bit of that evening delight that Magic Kingdom can be because it's open and it's right there so
Yeah.
much. I mean, we talk about the power of kind of the monorail loop resorts,
Yeah.
those kinds of things. And I know they're deluxe and they are a premium at cost. But man, if you can end your night after being other places at Magic Kingdom because you've chosen these resorts, man, that's a big bonus.
Oh, absolutely. There's another friend and advisor in our world named Kat who described it recently as being in the center of the magic. Like that's what these resorts are, right? If you want to
Yeah,
be
she's
in the
right.
center of the magic, this is how you do it. And I think that's what you're capturing here is you're right in the center of it. You can pop over and have this experience kind of end your night, right?
Yep, and feel like you're not killing yourself to do it. And
Yeah.
I guess that's like this feels like that easing into a little bit of park luxury.
Yeah.
And just go do what you want to do. I'm not worried about lightning lanes. I'm not worried about like all this other stuff. I'm just gonna go do what I can do, enjoy a little fireworks, catch a ride or two, and then ease back over to Polly and end what's a great resort day and gear up for something else. I don't know what's happening
Nice.
tomorrow at 6 a.m. that gets us back to a regular, kind of
Yep.
park warrior mode,
Hmm.
but this day would give me the energy for that day.
I love that. That's yeah. And it is really a day that's still full of experiences. So for people who sometimes I worry as a young parent, and you probably worry from a totally different perspective, but I worry like my kids still get up at 5 a.m., even if it's rest day, quote unquote, right? And they still need things to do or they will destroy our hotel room.
Yeah.
They just like they're just tiny children. I don't know what to tell you. And this is a great example of like you are still doing things all day, right?
Yeah,
And
just
it's
at a much
just
slower pace,
yeah,
like saving the feet, saving the energy, like doing all of those kinds of things. But a lot of times we were just chilling out.
yeah. And flowing a bit more, right? Hey, do you want to catch one more song or do you want to go back to the resort now? Should we head up to Grand Flow now? Should we walk? Should we take the monorail? Like it's just a bit more of a slower pace day, right?
And that is the power of including resort days in your trip.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things. If there's some other things to be learned from this is as we think about with listeners, and yes, Polly is a premium. You're probably, I don't know, $600 a night or something like that, right? I mean, but if that's where you're choosing, depending on what promotion, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
But it's the kind of the least expensive part of your total trip is where you're staying. I mean, adding a night compared to adding a park day across an entire party is less expensive. And so from that standpoint, including a rest day in your trip, I think maximizes all your other park days because of your energy level. Because
Yeah.
it's really easy to say, man, we're going to do 4 park days in a row. We're going to come in and leave, and
Yeah.
that's what our trip looks like.
Yeah.
Well, by day 3 or 4, you're destroyed.
Yeah.
And so a day like this allows you to maximize the front end of those park days and the back end of those park days, really get everything you can out of the rest of your Disney vacation, and this is still an epically good day by itself.
Absolutely, right? Magic insurance. You're insuring the rest of your days.
I
With
love that.
this
That is a
day.
brilliant saying.
Like that's what it is. You gotta make sure you're protecting your park days in some ways with energy and with a little reset. So I love that. I think this sounds like an awesome day. I want to do this day. Like there's no part of this day besides maybe there would be more caffeine involved. But like this sounds like an incredible day, start to finish, right?
All right, so as we close out this episode, we're going to end with a popular episode or a popular segment that we've been doing of late, and I hope we don't wear this one out. But I really like this, and you came up with it. I don't know, a handful of episodes ago, and that is this concept of hype or hack.
Yes. I think we've
And
been liking this because we're learning more about each other's style too.
yeah, but I'm gonna throw something at you
Okay.
that is an activity
Yes.
at Disney
Okay.
that I think some people are highly aware of and others are, loosely connected to, but it's this concept of pin trading.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so pin trading as a concept and activity, those kinds of things. As you think about that, is it hype? Or is this truly a hack and something that is worth investing the effort into as part of a trip?
Gosh, this one's hard because it just depends on you, right? So here's my context. I love my pins, but I love specific pins that represent something because I'm like a deeply sentimental person and I like completing collections. And so trading them doesn't make sense in my mind. Because this is a souvenir for this special thing, or this represents something special in my mind, or whatever it is. Like, I've never had a pin that I'm just kind of like neutral about, right?
Yeah.
And I could collect like, buy a bag of pins and start that way. But that's not what I love about pins myself as someone who loves collecting Disney pins. Now, I thought this might be fun for Abby, right? On our most recent trip. So I actually, the Disney Cruise Line lanyards that you get
Yeah.
each sailing. So I made, because that was the only lanyards I had. I was like, oh, I'll make her a pin trading lanyard on this. Sure. So I made her a pin trading lanyard with some pins that, all of mine are sentimental, but there were a couple that I was like, these I could give to her. And if she traded them, whatever, like it's okay. Because I've gifted them to her and it's the start of this. And my
Yeah.
friend Clint had gotten her a pin on our last trip because we know she loves Officer Hops. So we got that pin out. Well, Abby immediately the same thing. She's like, "Why on earth would I give these away? Like these are a special gift now. I'm not I'm not interested in trading them. Like I don't understand the concept." And she liked, which I've never done, but she wanted to wear pins like a badge. And that was including her Judy Hopps pin became a whole thing because she was like, it's going on the swimsuit when we're going to Lookout. Like, she's like,
Which is risky.
I know. I was like, this feels like one of those you're going to learn by doing moments, and I have to let this happen. But she somehow saved the pin the whole trip. So well done, little Disney pin holder. So for her, didn't make sense either. I have another friend whose kids, this is like something they do as teenagers into Disney together, is going on the Skyliner loop, going on the monorail loop and pin trading. It's something for them to do on resort days. It's sentimental for the way they've collected pins. So I think it just depends on your family, right? Like it just depends how you take it up. So I would say in terms of like hype or hack, well, if we're asking, is getting your kids pins to have the potential to pin trade a hype or a hack? I would say a hack because
Okay.
you're giving that new potential of experience, and worst case scenario, they take it as a really sentimental gift and never want to take it off. And that feels like a good thing too. So I would say hack because potentially it's a new activity. If not, you've just given them a fun gift.
Yeah, I'm definitely in the hack zone on this one.
Yeah.
And the reason is I do believe it's a way to bring others along with you on your Disney trip because
Right, to
often
interact.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm looking, at pin boards, and I'm like, hey, so and so would really like that one. And some, I may be grabbing a pin for my daughter, or
Yeah.
in that space where we were together,
Yeah.
and sure enough, there's a Judy Hopps pin. It's like I'm grabbing that.
Yeah.
I think in a low cost, low key way, I think it's a way to bring others along with you in your own energy
Yeah. That's a great
to
way to
Disney.
think about that. Yeah. That's a great way to think about it too. And even just to interact with cast members in different ways or interact with other kind of people who are pin trading when they see your lanyard or whatever it is. That can be a fun part of Disney. I remembered I had a hyper hack from last episode that I said
Oh, all
I'll
right.
save it, and I remembered what it was as we were talking. Fish extenders, hyper hack.
Oh. Okay. So as part of a cruise, I think it from a community standpoint, these things can be really pretty cool.
Yeah.
Here's my stress with it.
Mm-hmm.
Is I feel like it turns into a competition.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
At least that's the way it
Yeah.
felt when we were on our fantasy is,
Yeah.
you get these lists from people of their likes, their dislikes,
Yeah.
those kinds of things. I think minus the list kind of situation,
Mm-hmm.
I would probably raise this up from the standpoint that then it gives freedom, right?
Yes.
Then it gives novelty, then it
Yeah.
gives uniqueness, and it's this chance to just do something fun and crazy because you want to do something fun and crazy.
Yeah.
I think once you start formalizing this cabin likes these
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
and this cabin
Yeah.
likes these things, and now it feels like I have an obligation to gift somebody else something of meaning
Yeah.
versus just having a good time. And so we did it on our fantasy. If somebody was asking me, is it worth it? Is it not worth it? Honestly, I'm probably going to say, for me, skip the stress because that's what it turns into. And for me, this goes into the hype category because of that reason. It didn't bring a lot of positive value to my trip. I felt like it was creating more out-of-pocket cost. And in truth, a large majority of the stuff that got in the fish extender, it's like the stuff you get in your stocking at Christmas that you go through sometimes, and you're like, yeah, what am I going to do with this stuff? And then you find ways to re-gift it or something later.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's the vibe after it's all said and done.
Yeah.
So for me, it's definitely hype. And if somebody was asking, I'd say not worth the energy.
Oh yeah. I love hearing this because I feel like it's kind of a controversial Disney Cruise Line take, but I totally agree. The organized fish extender, I would call hype for sure. These are organized usually through like a Facebook group for your sailing or something like that. Pixie dusting is where I'm more in the like maybe hack if you have kids. If you have kiddos who are gonna get, or maybe you just would get a ton of joy out of you come back to your room, there's something in the fish extender. Amazing. But we're not expecting that. It's just a fun surprise if it happens. Or Abby has loved all three cruises she's been on, loved giving the pixie dust. Like we always just bring, a pack of stickers or something like that, right? And she will love putting those in around, but she has also at times wanted to give them to a person. She likes the recognition of like, I'm gifting you something. I want to see your response. So she'll like hand them out at the pool deck or something like that, right? That's
well, and I think it's that feeling that is what matters, right?
Yeah.
It's this altruistic kind of just let me give you something just because I did. Whether other people have the expectation feeling those kinds of things once you start adding the layers to it, I mean, I would say, man, if people want to pixie dust other people who are already doing fish extender stuff like that, and you just want to throw one outside your door, and maybe you get lucky, maybe you don't, it really doesn't matter. Yeah, then maybe at that point I can see rolling the dice. Again, am I going to spend a bunch of time worried about it? No, I'm not. I'm going to keep it simple and go from there. But on the whole, just it put your energy someplace else.
Yep, I'm totally with you. Do the roll the dice method and let's see what's in the stocking as opposed
Yep.
to a organized thing that means I have to pack extra things from my already like ridiculous amount of luggage I travel with. So I'm with you on that one. And with that, we've come to the end of your perfect resort day.
Yeah, this was fun. And again, I can't wait to do one for you because we've
Mm.
done perfect park days. We've
Yep.
done even perfect cruise days. This
Yep.
was the first of this sort. And again, we approach these things very, very differently. So I'm looking forward in a future episode of rolling through a perfect resort day with you. But as we close this one out, just a reminder to our listeners and fans, like and subscribe to the podcast. It's a great way to support us, help us to stay relevant in the podcasting sphere. Leave us a 5-star Apple Podcast review. Those help significantly. Out to us on our socials. Jenna, remind
Yeah.
our folks.
At Enchanted Parks and Ports on Instagram. Feel free to message us, interact with our stuff, or follow us along for some announcements of episodes and other fun stuff, especially with Clint traveling in the near future. We tend to throw some things on our Instagram during those times too.
Absolutely. And so with that one in the books, Jenna, let's remind our listeners.
Adventure is out there. Bye, friends.